Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Apex Greatness. I am your host, Russell Broderick. This way. This way.
Yo, he's like mentally slow, man. This guy.
I just told
I
you.
know, like,
that's why I don't do that, because I'm always going to get it wrong, no matter what. Especially
just on purpose. I feel like he does it on purpose.
Definitely has to. There's no way he's that so stupid. Like I can't.
Yeah, because like the Russell that I know in college was not that dumb. Pretty smart guy,
I guess. But this is Apex Greatness.
Oh wait! I wanted to ask. So, do I look like I'm Dodge or Doge?
Who the fuck is Doge?
Dogecoin to the moon?
Doge.
Doge. No? That's why I chose this background. I thought I was to the moon like Doge.
Is it Doge or Doge?
I call it like Dodge, but I know I'm wrong, but I don't care.
Dodge, like the fucking car?
Yeah.
Or like in dodgeball, dodge.
Yeah.
All I know is that we are down with the Doge here on Apex.
That's fine. That's fine. Oh yeah, we are down. Yeah, we are down with the Doge. Yeah.
For life, but
y'all need money talk. Y'all let us know. We got y'all.
You got y'all. I don't have you guys at all.
Oh yeah, I got y'all. Hit me up.
It's gonna be
my Twitter's gonna be somewhere. Hit me up.
We're here to talk about some NBA basketball today, not about cryptocurrency. The All-Star starters. We're taping this on a Friday. All-Star starters got announced yesterday. These are the official picks for both the East and West.
Yeah, fuck the NBA. They ain't right. We're about to tell y'all what it really is supposed to be like.
Each of us voted. I have the screenshots that look pretty, and you can see who we voted for. I think if we combine our collective results, we got it right. Because one of us picked, I know that
I think you picked the top.
I definitely picked the West correct. The East, I didn't have Kyrie Irving, but
same.
But we'll get into it. We're gonna start with the Western Conference, right?
Lindsay would have got the East right if she was, wasn't just psychotic. But we will talk about it.
I am the smartest person to have ever existed. I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll have a one-on-one discussion right here on the podcast about it because I'm confused.
We're gonna do the Western Conference first. So who's talking their shit? Who's going first?
I got you. Okay. So my guys, I had to do my homeboys. I was a little bit biased in certain occasions, and I know the viewers because I've seen the comments. Y'all think that I'm a Luka dick eater, right? And he's on my bench right now. So I put Damian Lillard in the point guard or shooting guard spot. It's not really. There's no actual positions. It's just guards
and forwards now. That's it.
Yeah.
It used to be
or front court, back court, pretty much. Same.
It used to be 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center. But the somewhere while we were in college, the center died and fell off the face of the earth. But it's back now. Yeah. It's back now. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. We'll get into it. We'll continue. Sorry.
No, you're good. So that was actually the tough pick for me because I was stuck between Luka and Lillard. Right. And the reason I picked Lillard is because, he's been doing his shit, averaging 30 and 8. I like it. Luka's been wilding too, but Lillard's doing his shit, having clutch moments. Like him and Luka actually had like a little battle just a week or two ago, right?
Yeah.
And Lillard hit some clutch ass fucking shots to end those games, and I don't know. I feel like that was just like a preference thing, and I feel like I wanted to just give Lillard his respect for this year.
I looked up some cool Dame stats about the clutch because I really thought that was.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about that. Yeah.
That was the one thing for me. So I looked up. I that was my last choice between Dame and Luka.
Yeah.
And I just think Luka would make a more fun when we get to my criteria for an all-star pick, I just think Luka would make a more fun starter. So I ended up going with Luka, but strictly from stats, Dame in the clutch, which is considered as the last 5 minutes of a game in which point differential is 5 or less. So very specific.
Yeah.
He is number 1 in scoring, and he has played 15 total games in which this situation has occurred, and he has 12 wins, which is tied for first, and he's 5.5 points per game, which sounds like not a lot, but it's also number 1.
Yeah, like, is that because I thought they broke it down by like 5 seconds and then also like 5 minutes, and like they broke it down.
I got the stats for 5 minutes. This will be on your
5 minutes.
But,
okay.
I got the stats for strictly the as last 5 minutes of a game, which point differential is 5 or less. Just did that. Because I was confused. I was like, what exactly is clutch? Because I know there's a couple of different definitions, so I wanted to make sure I had the right one for my stats.
Yeah.
But I looked that up, I was like, God damn. First of all, 15 games in that situation, 12 wins. That's there's a reason why they're a playoff team.
Yeah, exactly. And I was going to say, my whole thing with Dame is I think he's a top 5 MVP candidate this year, too. So, like, that was I know, like, the records and stuff shouldn't matter as much with the All-Star game, but when you see shit like that, like, you gotta respect it. Like,
one thing we'll get into is each of us, and I'm sure you could go through it whenever, but each of us have our own criteria for this. So if your criteria is, if I think he's going to be an MVP, he's my starter, then that's cool. I'm with that.
Yeah.
Like,
and another thing is, like, for me, it was also like if someone kind of did extra and went like to that superstar level at some point.
Yeah.
And like it kind of swayed me a little bit more. Like you'll see in some of my picks that it was just like, it was definitely a different kind of mindset than like normal. I feel like than I normally pick, but I think like some people have changed my mind about them as the year's been going on. So with Dame, like the explosiveness with Dame though. So he's had over 14 30 plus point games, right?
Yeah.
So that's 30, 40, 50. And he's had 3 40 plus point games. He's obviously a great 3-point shooter, shooting like 38% from the field. And he's just like, I think pretty much starting from the bubble, like going into the bubble and like the name he was kind of trying to make for himself and kind of saying like he's that kind of guy, like that superstar guy. I think that was like kind of almost like a narrative going into that bubble, and he brought the team to the playoffs and made some type of run. Got fucked up by my Lakers, which is nothing to be ashamed about. And then he comes into this season and he's just doing that shit all over, and I feel like
relatively identical.
Yeah, and you asked me the question last during that bubble season and asked if I think Dame is better than Steph.
Right. True.
And my answer is still no. But I think that like he's keeping himself in that conversation and doing that shit. So I don't know. Like to me, he was definitely he's deserving to be an all-star starter. I could see why he wouldn't. It was really tough between Luka and Dame for me.
So for like, hold on, when we get to
all have Curry as one of our West starting guards, but we all differ on the other guard. I have Mitchell, you had Dame, and then Russell has Luka.
So did you, Lindsay, when you picked Mitchell, did you take into consideration the record? Was that why you would? So did you think he was
a little bit when dealing with all stars? Take records into consideration.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then
because they have the best record in the league. So.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. And then I also it's a little bit of everything. Like I look at the record because I don't always want like to give it to somebody if they're on a shit team for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
And then it's also just like how good they are on that team, if they're important or not. And then if I like them.
Yeah, I feel that.
If I like them, it's people. They're bad. They're out. Fuck them.
Yeah, and I also could see like going back to like Russell's point with Luka, where he was like, you know, you feel like you'd like to see Luka more in that environment, but it was also like Dame and Steph are so similar. Like they play different, but there's such a similarity in their game that I could see why people would be like, I gotta pick one or the other because I don't really want to see both.
I think I think that's why Dame gets like the underrated tab under his name. Like a lot of people consider him underrated. Is because I feel like if not for Steph Curry, Dame Lillard would be Steph Curry.
Yeah, he's the Isaiah Thomas. He's Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, that's a good example.
Because he's the second best guard.
Like, but Magic and Isaiah played so different. Where, like you said, Curry and Lillard, their game and the way they're used in their offensive system is very similar.
Yeah,
I definitely think that's a good point.
So going back to Dame's daddy, Steph, right? So the reason I say this is like Steph put up what did he put up like 50 something on Dame, and Dame's
I think so.
And so I don't really like to shout out other podcasts or anything, but I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast and they called Dame Lillard and they asked him about it. They said, "Why you let him do that to you?" And he was like, "There's nothing you could do about it." Like he dropped it. Like when someone's like that, like it just happens. Yeah. Oh yeah. 50 was it 57? I don't remember what it was.
He's had two major games. One of them's the 57-point game, which he had against the Mavericks. It was Luka and Steph just going back and forth. Yeah. That was a banger. Yeah. And then he had 62. Was that against Portland? Yeah, this was against.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I remember he had a crazy game against them. And my whole thing is, so I talk. This is something that I've been thinking about this whole year. Pretty much is Steph is literally back to 2016 Steph. Yeah. Like, and I think we talked about this during the preseason, like predictions. And I thought that I remember saying that I feel like he could do that again.
Yeah, you did. Definitely.
So him literally, if you put the stats together, even advanced stats, it's almost identical to his 2016 season. The only thing is his team is not even fucking close to as good. And I thought, which is insane. And 2016 Steph literally made me like love basketball without Kobe. Like, because I was lost at this moment, at this point, and then I just saw that, and it was so much fun, and it's just nice to see him back. Dude, Durant took that from us a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing that it kind of had to. First of all, another basketball saving career move by Twitter. Twitter shit on this guy to start the year. Mm-hmm. Like, does Curry not have it anymore? Or whatever. Like, that was at least the first 7 to 8 days of the regular season was a lot of like, he's just got, and then he came out and did this.
Yeah,
and he's like, fucking wilding. I guess I can still play. Like, so you know what? Credit to Twitter. Another W for them. And basketball Twitter specifically. Yeah. They fixed James Harden's defense to an extent. And
they just bully people to play better. Like,
I'm with it. Imagine if, first of all, we consider Michael Jordan the most, I take things personally player of all time. Imagine if he had Twitter.
Yo, the fact that shot by Draymond Green looked like a straight up pass.
Oh my God.
Crazy, bro. That's crazy. My bad. That's why I
so you're good. I'm running it back.
I didn't want to mess up your take, but it was just, I just couldn't have, it was just hilarious. Right. It literally looked like a straight up pass. Like Curry was waiting for it. He was like, "I know you're about to airball this shit, bro. So I got you. I'm about to lay this shit up." That's hilarious. My bad. Nah, but I feel that. But I also think Jordan would have been like a pussy about it too. Yeah, he's sensitive.
He definitely.
But speaking of Curry's explosion during the year, so I looked up to some of these stats. So he has 2 games this year with 10+ threes made, and people don't even do that shit during their career. Like, Kobe had, like, 1 game. They put up, like, 12 threes, and he was like, all right, that's good. Curry's doing the shit, like, within 15 games. Like, it's insane. And then you got Curry, just like Leonard, had 14 games with 30-plus points. Yeah. You got 3 games with 40-plus points. And and 2 of those 3 games were 50-plus point games. Like, he's just fucking wilding this year.
Their problem is I just much like I said in the preseason, I just don't know where they're getting the rest of their shit from. Like it's just a lot of scoring that's got to be made up when you lose Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's an easy 50 points per game that you have to find. And I just think, in terms of winning basketball games, that's why they're struggling to be in the playoffs. I think they're the 8th seed as of recorded.
But he's keeping them in there though. That's the thing. Like
he keeps them competitive in all these fucking games. Look
they're
at
the 7th right now.
The 7th seed. Okay.
Hey, where I had him 6 or 7, right? Oh, we doing this. But these and it's only because of Steph. Like I only believed in Steph, and it's fine. But
you know what we gotta do for our next show, or maybe not the next show, but by the time we get the season in, we got to see how close these guys are projected to hitting those win totals from the beginning of the year.
Yeah, seriously. Well, I know we're 100% wrong about the Knicks because they're already at like 15. And because I thought that's the only team that I've thought about that way. Because I remember saying like, "There's no way the Knicks are even getting a 20."
I have the Knicks in my All-Star selections.
Yeah, me too. And you want to know
my God.
Before we get
you want to know why? Oh my bad.
Oh no, go ahead. But
no, yeah, we can't. We
right, sorry, I'm just
we're talking about the starters here.
But anybody else? Oh, Lindsay, you're the only one that had Donovan Mitchell. Talk to me about that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think he's playing well. He's about, I don't think he's doing much better than his averages last season or than he usually does. But I've always liked him as a player. And they have the best season, the best record right now for the season. And
right.
Him and Rudy Gobert are the two. And so it was either him and Gobert, and I just like him better, so.
Yeah, I have both Mitchell and Gobert on my bench, but again, I'm the only person who had Luka, and Luka was the one who ended up getting picked. I was very much on the fence between Luka and Dame, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to reward Mitchell also because of he's definitively the best player on the best team. Like you said, if it's not him, it's Gobert. But I do believe best players on the best team should at least be all-stars. But one of my major criteria is, will you make the all-star game more fun? And that's what made Luka be the starter over those guys. It's like, Lillard's going to make a bunch of shots, but like Dario said, there's another one of those guys already on my starting lineup with Curry. So with Luka, it's like, I just want to see Luka and LeBron out there with it. Like, I just think there's so much cool chemistry with that starting lineup that actually got chosen. Like, you're going to see some cool shit. But Luka has more. He's just got more all around.
It's different, yeah. It's definitely different, and it's different from everybody else that's in that starting lineup right there. I do have a quick question. So, are they doing that that rule that they did last year that made it super competitive, where what was it like? You have to get it's 21 points more in the fourth quarter. It's like 21 points. Whoever gets to 21 points over. Yeah, something like that. Like 21 points of the highest score. So like if it's like 144 to 150, if you get whoever gets to 171 first wins. I think that's how it was last year.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I was wondering if it was gonna be like that again, because that was super competitive. And in that case, if it's gonna be like that, then I'd argue that I'd want Dame to be the starter in that game. You know what I mean? Because like if it's gonna be competitive when it comes to clutch shots, like Dame's been the clutchest guy in the NBA this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's look up the 2021 rules. Fourth quarter, here we go. You're right. That's exactly what it's going to be. We'll be untimed, and the teams will play to a target final score. Or final target score, excuse me. You guys can read.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is the same format as last year, which is good. That format was good.
Yeah, that made it. Oh, it was 24. Because of Cole, I forgot. Yeah, it was 24 points plus of the whatever the ending score was of the third quarter, adding 24 points, representing Kobe.
Yeah, so I see your point with Lillard, but in the same token, Luka's no slouch in the clutch department. Lillard's probably, but then again,
I was about to say Lillard's probably.
I don't think they don't have to have the starters out there.
But usually they do. Like towards the end of those games, they usually try to give it to the starters.
Bill Simmons always says the last 5 minutes of the All-Star game is a really nice snapshot of the season because you get an idea of who are the 10 best guys in the league typically in a year. Doesn't always work out that way, but a lot of times,
I agree.
Are the 10 best guys that season. So it'll be interesting. I don't know. I'm surprised at how first of all, the Mavericks have been riddled with all kinds of COVID stuff, and that's definitely negatively affected their record. But Luka's top 5 in points per game and assists per game, right? And he's tied with Bradley Beal for usage, like in terms of for his team. And he's doing. It's like pretty much every night the Mavericks score has been, or the highlights of the Mavericks game is Luka plays well, Mavs lose.
Yeah.
And I feel like on the Eastern side, I was awarding Bradley Beal, who was losing way more games than.
Oh yeah. I'm not. I wouldn't. I don't think that.
I felt like if I'm going to reward strictly quality play, because we really only have, like, look at it this way, we only have one player of the month so far in Embiid and Jokic. That's it. We don't have any more. Usually there's a lot more to go on at by the All-Star break.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, my whole thing and the way I thought of it was very similar, but because it was so close for me with Damon and Luka, I went with Dame because of the clutchness and how his team is doing. Like those were just like it was so close. I was like, all right, I have to pick something to make it. And yeah, so I mean, it was definitely close. It was, like, I'm not thinking you were wrong for picking Luka, because to me, it could have been either way for me.
That's how I felt about Dame. Like it was literally I had 9 guys on the page, and then it was between Luka and Dame for my last starting spot. I just didn't know. Yeah. I just what do you go? I don't know. I hope that starting 5 is good. But then again, I keep thinking about it like it's old rules. I keep forgetting that they're going to have a draft. But even then, I would rather have Luka in the draft pool. Like
that is true. Yeah, like it is gonna be. That's another thing. I didn't even think about that. I totally forgot about the draft part, because that makes. Well, because that was new. What was that? That was last year or the year before that?
The same time that they changed the rules for the
the draft. Yeah. That actually was pretty dope. But it was kind of dope. Giannis was the worst GM in the fucking world.
Well, now, hey, we spoke a lot about Kevin Durant and his abilities to quote unquote GM in Brooklyn, right?
Is it the Durant and Bron?
Yep.
Ooh, it's gonna be fun. I want to see that.
The third official All-Star captain. I go for it.
So for me, I guess we have to explain why we pick each person. Most people are like, "Who the hell wouldn't pick LeBron?" But just want to explain a little bit, Him averaging 26, 8 and 8 in his 18th year, fucking insane. So you gotta respect that.
Here, hold on that thought. I pulled up Mad's stats because I was very bored. So LeBron James, 7th in total minutes this season, right? Yeah. There are 6 guys above him. He is 36 years old, LeBron. The average age of the players ahead of him. You want to guess? Take a guess.
25.
Take a guess, Lynn.
27.
25 and a half.
Oh, that was close.
Everyone above him. There's not a guy who's 30 years old above him. And he has a 10-year gap. And then there's LeBron, 7th in total minutes. No Anthony Davis, who we're going to get to this when we do the reserves. None of us have Anthony Davis as a reserve.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you cut it with the lack of play. Like, he didn't play as much during the. He
has more games played than Kevin Durant.
Okay, so here's my Anthony Davis thing. It was the lack of play. Like, he's injured right now and he hasn't been playing a lot. But then also there was, in the beginning of the season, he was like doing interviews saying how he's got to get into it and all this stuff, and his numbers.
He's averaging 22-8.
No, but at the beginning, so I don't know. I just between the slow beginning and now he's slow again because he's out. I just didn't feel like putting him.
I don't think he's. I heard Charles Barkley, and this came off. Charles Barkley, the way he said it and the way people reacted to it, it came off as a hot take, and I had no idea why. He said Anthony Davis has not played to all-star level, and I don't. There's a lot of good players this year putting up great numbers.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I agree with that. He hasn't been playing until all-star level. I would say that who would you the biggest thing is, who would you switch out for him? Like, in order to say, like, all right, Anthony Davis is going to be an all-star, who are you going to take out? Like,
well, that's what I mean.
By bench, like, I don't think I could, because I remember thinking about it, I'm like, I don't see AD being over any of these guys. Like, Gobert would be, like, the guy people would probably look at, and I'm just like, bro, he's been playing fucking great this year. And, like, sure, AD, the whole thing is AD's production on the offensive end is like what everybody's focused on, but defensively, he's actually been really good.
Yeah, I agree with that. And there are guys who are going to who are going to be rewarded for me on the defensive end when we get in this.
Yeah. But usually with all-star games, you don't reward defenders. Like, how many times did Kawhi get a bunch of all-star games when he was just great defensively? Like, no.
He's a 5-time all-star. So
a lot of people in San Antonio don't get a lot of all-star flair though either.
But also, like, that people do get credited for their defense, not for being like straight defenders, but Anthony Davis is not. I wouldn't consider Anthony Davis a straight defender. He's still averaging 22 a game. But here's my point: in 2011 and 2012, there was less than 20 guys averaging 20 points a game in the NBA. This year, there are 34 guys averaging over 20 points a game. Like, there's the criteria to be an all-star is elevated to a certain extent because of the quality of play and the quality of statistics this year. So that's the biggest reason why Anthony Davis isn't an all-star to me, and it's the biggest reason why LeBron James is probably my MVP right now.
Yeah, that was
Lakers are second in the West, right now.
Yeah, and we're only down by a game. Like, I think it's
LeBron just doing what he's doing, turning Kyle Kuzma into a fucking stud, and
my boy Kyle. Y'all gotta stop playing with my boy Kyle. Like, my boy Kuzma, he was doing his shit, man. He just hasn't had the opportunities like that. But
he's embraced rebounding like it's nobody's business. Yeah. He's really a much better rebounder this year.
Yeah,
but
and another thing with LeBron, the dope shit that he's been doing this year. You've talked about it in a look at that shit. But but you've talked about it during like as we've done our recaps and shit. But he's just been doing extra shit this year.
Yeah.
Like talking his shit, making that three, turning around and giving his man a dap while it was going in. Like freaking talking shit to the Cavs.
He took something. This is the angriest I've seen LeBron in a long time.
Yeah.
Especially the regular season.
Maybe it's because they keep calling his championship the Mickey Mouse ring or some shit. Like the Mickey Mouse clubhouse ring or something. Isn't that it? I don't know.
Oh,
that would make me angry.
That's a real thing. That'll be on your screen. I'm gonna research that if that's real.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah. Well, we think that was one of the greatest rings ever, right? No, I don't know. We're gonna have a LeBron legacy breakdown, and we're gonna break that shit down. Let us know if y'all like that.
In terms of doing things from a mental perspective, it's one of the hardest championships that there's been. But I don't know. Maybe LeBron would have had trouble in the 60s when it was, you're taking trains everywhere and there's no luxuries at all, and you're not making any money to play basketball. You might have to have a side job.
Yeah.
It's different. There's different kinds of experiences for everybody.
Yeah.
But Kawhi Leonard,
Joker.
Right?
Oh, okay.
Joker or Kawhi?
No, whatever you want. I don't got much to say about Kawhi though.
I know somebody who does.
Yeah. I figured Lindsay was gonna have a lot to say, so.
No. So Even though I tried to be unenthusiastic about the Clippers' regular season, I'm not going to be a dick and not talk about the fact that I think Kawhi Leonard is still playing beautifully for the Clippers, and I still love him. And so he's on the All-Star team.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I was gonna say, like, he's just it's the quietest, like 27, 6-5 or whatever the hell he's putting up.
Everything
it's like
he does is
so quiet. It's just like the chill. No one's talking about it. It's just like,
this is what he wants. This is the ideal Kawhi Leonard season.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole thing is this year is it's just got so much more competitive. I feel like in terms of like the teams that you're gonna have to go through it. So like the Clippers last year were like the top two teams. It was the Lakers and the Clippers that you were really looking at.
Yeah.
And this year you got the Nets, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Milwaukee, Philly. Like you got multiple teams in it that I feel like because they're so quiet, no one's really talking. Like Clippers are kind of falling under the radar and shit. So
that's okay.
That's what Kawhi wants. It's all part
of it. But nah, you got but this is not superstar shit though. Like that's the whole thing for me is Kobe. Like we
go tell Tim Duncan it's not superstar shit. I'm sure.
Nah, man, nah. You want to know why? Because when you compare him to Kobe, like
okay, wait. I found the reason why he's still so quiet. I think he's confused. He still might be in San Antonio because the Clippers jerseys are black and white now.
Oh my God, he's confused. That's hilarious.
He's confused. I think he has amnesia. So.
No.
He's like, wait, this is Texas, right?
This is my biasness, right? Because it's my like if I'm comparing someone to Kobe,
yeah,
I'm comparing you to Kobe. So I'm like, Kobe had media issues his whole career. It was all around him. He went through that and he won 5 fucking championships, went to 7 finals. Like he did all of that shit with that. So like for you to be like, nah, I gotta be under the radar. I hope that you guys don't talk about me so that I can be great.
I hope you guys don't talk about me. I just definitely think we're coasting under the radar. I definitely think that's a conscious, like, think about it. Think about when he signed to the Clippers anyways. It was all about whoever leaked out the least amount of shit got Kawhi Leonard. That's what that's what mattered most.
Yeah, that's true.
Also,
so like this is all part of the plan.
Also, they walked around last season not being quiet, and then they got like bitch slapped in the bubble, basically. So maybe they're just kind of like afraid of being bitch slapped again. The pin pan hurts, I guess.
Yeah, that's a fucking fact.
Here's why Kawhi made the All-Star team or why he started for me, and why that one was an easy decision. 23 out of 29 games played for Kawhi. Hasn't taken a lot of games off. I thought he was going to play. I didn't know what was going to happen. If he was going to play half the season or what. But he's been there for his team. He's been available. And he's played really well. 26 point something points per game. It'll be above my head.
But I looked at that as not a change, though.
It's not like he took a dip like Anthony Davis, for example.
No, yeah, but he actually was injured. But Kawhi has been load managing for throughout the last like 3 seasons.
Yeah,
and I don't see a change because you look at it, and this is my accountant head. When I look at missing 6 games out of 29, you expand that out to a 70 game season.
Like 2 of them were because of COVID protocols, so it wasn't like he planned on sitting those out.
Okay, all right, but
so let's say 4 then.
So 4, okay. So 4 games out of the 29 games. That's still 8 to 10 games missed. Last year he only missed 11 games.
Okay, yeah, it's true.
Like so, you know what I mean? Like it's not like it's not too much of a difference. And that was one thing that we bitched about last year. You know, like so I didn't. For me, it's just Kawhi Leonard is easily a top 10 player in the league.
Yeah,
arguably top 5. So
and the Clippers are 3rd now, right? Pretty sure they're 3rd.
Yes, they're 3rd.
So yeah.
Like they're doing their business. They're winning basketball games, and winning is my last. It's the very last thing I took into consideration when I was putting these things together. I was like,
so do you find Kawhi being in the All-Star game fun? Because you said part of your
I do.
Luka.
I do. I do, and here's
Okay.
why. Here's why. Kawhi Leonard's either going to be teammates with LeBron or Kevin Durant, no matter what. That to me in itself is interesting. Who's going to pick him is interesting, right? Because I don't know if LeBron and Kawhi are cool or what. And this is always a strategic move.
Yeah. Well, LeBron picked them last year.
This all-star picking shit turn into strategic moves for free agency later on. And I'm interested to see who's going to pick him. That is the number one reason in terms of like interest why I would be interested to have him as a starter.
Yeah.
And I just think the starting lineup is going to be cool. There's a lot of like swing guys. I ended up picking a lot of forwards.
Who got the most votes? Was it Bron?
We can look that up. Pretty sure.
Yeah. So that means
it'll be on your screen right now. I'm pretty sure right now.
So Bron's gonna get the first vote.
Yeah.
And I'd assume he'd pick either Joker or Embiid. I wouldn't think that.
It's interesting though.
I would not pick Kawhi in that. I don't know why you'd pick Kawhi in that. No, not even trying to be a dick about it. Like, I just feel like I think Joker and Embiid are the second best players to pick.
That's
the best players to pick.
We can do that when we do the next show before the All-Star game. We can pick our own fantasy teams and do it that way based on the official All-Star spread.
Yeah.
Yeah, before they do it. If we can get a show and to do that, we'll do it. But that's fair. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into it. Like I wouldn't be sure who to pick, but I'm interested to see which team gets Kawhi Leonard and whether that's like I don't know. He just seems like a very recluse and like doesn't hang out with other superstars at all.
Yeah.
Like outside of Paul George, but I'm pretty sure he barely hangs out with him too.
I could see KD probably picking Steph or something just to.
That's what I'm saying. See,
still got love for him, kind of thing. Like
who knows?
I could see him doing that. That'll be dope.
But who else do we got for the
Joker?
So
he's personally my third in MVP. I got my boy Bron, Embiid, and then Joker.
Basketball Reference has Nikola Jokic as their pick for MVP. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
that was the last time we checked. I don't know if that's true.
I'm pretty sure that's still the case.
We'll find out.
I'll check it out. Yeah, I'll check it out.
To me, they're like drunk though. Aren't they like 6th seed or some shit like that? Like Lakers are dead ass the 2nd seed, second best record in the league, and freaking Bron is having. Right now. Yeah, like what are we talking about here?
I would say the Nuggets have more talent than the Lakers, which is why LeBron's MVP for me. Like LeBron's.
No, I disagree. I don't agree. I think the Lakers have more talent.
Without Anthony Davis, the fact that they're the 2 seed is like impressive.
That's what I mean. But I could see, but they're definitely like a 5th seed kind of team, though.
How are you saying they don't have talent? They have like 2 6th men of the year basically on their roster.
Yeah, the Lakers, right?
Yeah,
that's why I was confused. That's why I was confused that you said that they didn't have as much talent.
It just feels like they're in all these close games. They've been in all these close games without AD against like Detroit.
Yeah, but that's chemistry stuff, though. Like
I'm not disagreeing with that, but that's why LeBron's number 1 for MVP for me. Because he's able to make all that work with an obvious disadvantage in that he doesn't have a second guy. Jokic, he has a second guy. His second guy just never took the fucking step up.
Yeah, he's a pussy.
I still think Bradley Beal to the Nuggets would be fine. And I think that 1-2 punch between Jokic and Bradley Beal would be lethal.
Or he could come to the Lakers, because since we need a second guy again, like I mentioned before, we could trade AD for Bradley Beal. No, hell no.
Jokic. So Jokic is top
Joker.
10.
Yo, he's been fucking wild. All right, so he's top 5. He's probably top 5 or 6 in points.
He's top 10 in points, rebounds.
He's leading in win shares.
And he's leading in win shares.
Yeah.
Which is that stat comes into play a lot when we start talking about MVP.
Yeah, but it's just when you're in the 8th seed, you can't win MVP.
That's a fair point. But hold on. Let me get
I don't think that's literally the lowest seeded person to win MVP was Russell Westbrook, and that was because he averaged a triple-double for the first time in like 40 years.
True. Very true. So Jokic. So he's 10th in points per game, right? 27.
Yeah.
Rebounds. 8th in rebounds. Assists. 5th in assists.
Which is
destroying.
He is by far, he is the greatest passing big man of all time.
You're ready to be there? You're ready?
It's not even close. I don't know.
I've been there. I've been there a while now.
Yeah, I know, and I'm agreeing with you now. Yeah. I can't even. Who else?
He breaks my brain with some of the passes he makes.
He's literally a fucking big ass point guard.
Yeah, he is.
Like awesome. Bird was just as big as him. He was just not as heavy, right? Bird wasn't as heavy as
Bird. I think was an inch shorter, but yeah, obviously not the same dimensions, girth.
Yeah, exactly. But and I don't consider like Bird was a small forward. Like I don't consider him, especially in the era he played in. He was not a big man in his era. So
no, yeah, sure, yeah.
So it's like this guy is not even close though. Like I can't even. I don't even.
He is Larry Bird and Dirk Nowitzki's love child. Yeah. And it's awesome. And the passes he makes, especially my favorite passes that he has are from the top of the 3-point, like the top of the key at the 3-point line, like right here, and then in the high post. That's he does so much damage from that area of the court.
And he looks so fucking doofy, but it's
that's
like
the best part.
Dope. I hate when he does his little up and under, and then just randomly throws it up. Like it looks like he doesn't even know what the fuck he's doing, and he always gets it.
What if him and Joel end up on the same team together? That's gonna be sick.
I feel like that'd be weird.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
It'd be sick. I'd be so happy if that happened.
I think you need one dominant big man. I think 2 makes it 2.
No, I'm not saying for like real basketball. I'm saying for the All-Star game.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense.
Nah,
I thought you meant just in general. Yeah. I mean, it'll be different. Like you haven't seen that in a while, and it'll be like a completely different kind of game. Cause
that's what I'm saying. Like you could totally dominate with those 2 guys on the inside, and just say, "This is what we're doing tonight."
but the whole thing is they're gonna want to like, especially since there's not gonna be much fans.
Have any fun tonight?
Yeah. But usually the All-Star game, they let them, people, they throw up alleys and shit, and like they just have, it's like a circus almost for the first 3, for the first half at least. It's always like
throw alleys. I'm with that. Jokic can easily throw alley-oops with ease, no problem. Yeah. He could pretend he's shooting, and then it magically turns into a lob pass.
Yeah.
He is a wizard. But Jokic, like we've alluded to, awesome season so far. Just they need to make one big move. I really can't get over that fact. They need to make one big move to make the next leap in terms of being a contender, because they need to take advantage of what Jokic is doing in his prime.
He's amazing. He's so like he made me a fan. Like seriously, like over the last probably year and a half, like I've become, because you mentioned him. And we would like play 2K all the time, and you'd always mention him. And I'm just like, I'm not really like, I don't care about that dude that much. Like Luka, but again, I was like one of those old heads pretty much that just didn't like. It takes a while for me to like the newer talent, I guess. Like I need to see more. But he's just fucking amazing. Like he's almost at 50, 40, 90 this year as a fucking center. Like that's insane. Yeah, he's fucking amazing.
He's one of my 3 or 5 favorite players in the league to watch. Like if I'm just on League Pass, and because I couldn't think of it off the top of my head. Giannis is in there, Jokic in there, LeBron. But if you're just tuning in on League Pass and they're playing, like it doesn't matter who they're playing. I just want to see Jokic do some dumb shit. Yeah. He's awesome. He's just everything he does is fun to watch. So that hit my criteria immediately for getting the All-Star game. He's going to be the perfect all-star center. It's going to be super fun. Yeah, what if he tries to like cross people up?
He's like if Gumby was made out of white glue instead of green glue.
Gumby? I don't even know what that is.
You don't know about Gumby?
You don't know about Gumby?
Damn, you're like barely an old head now. I take it back.
Like Gumby or Gumbo?
Gumby, like the little guy, like, you know, the green guy who's like stretchy and bendy and shit.
Yeah. But what do you call it? Gumby will be on your screen, by the way. If you don't know what Gumby is, you're gonna be educated. Okay. All right. Anybody else we want to talk about, or we're gonna go to the East?
No, I think we got it.